Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of ThinkTwice podcast brought to you by TikTok in collaboration with Sinar Daily. I am Tasnim Lokman, the editor of Sinar Daily, and today we're going to be talking about what is on everybody's, actually every parent's minds, okay? How to raise digital natives responsibly. And this podcast is aimed to help make sure Malaysians are safer and smarter online. So the topic will define the future of our nation's youth and our children, because it's important to note that our children in today's world, right, is no longer growing into the digital world, but they are already living in it. Like we're all already living in a digital world. So it's important to understand that they learn, create, connect, and express themselves online in ways previous generations never imagined. So it's a whole new world, and they are living a whole new type of lives that we may have never experienced, even though we're adults and we're going through it as well. So this conversation matters because we guide young people with wisdom and confidence, where digital spaces become places of discovery instead of danger, empowerment instead of fear, and also a community instead of isolation. And we are talking to parents, creators, and community leaders together today, and how we can guide, okay? It's how we guide, as parents, we guide the new generation to become responsible digital citizens with confidence. So joining me today are industry leaders, and who are who are every day on the front lines and also bringing valuable first-hand experience to this conversation. First, we have Puan Madiha Mahmud, the CEO of Content Forum. And next to her is Mr. Firdaus Fadzil, the Malaysian head of public policy at TikTok, and also a TikTok creator, digital coach, and also a parent herself,
Yes.
one Fatin Sufina. So thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you guys are good.
Yep,
Like,
good.
we're ready to start the conversation, but before we start, can you guys please introduce yourself? Can we start with you, Puan Madiha?
Sure. So I've been in the content regulation sort of industry for as long as I've been a mother.
Okay.
I've got 3 kids. The eldest is 19, and there's a 14-year-old and a 9-year-old. So that's the intersection between my work and also my interests and my agenda and my objectives as a parent really do overlap. And I really enjoy having conversations like this because I learn all the time from other people as well. So I'm looking forward to it.
All right, great. And Mr. Firdaus?
Thank you, Tasnim. I lead the public policy team for TikTok in Malaysia. My team and I work closely with the regulators, policymakers, and also the community leaders want to make sure that TikTok continue to be grow as a safe, trusted, and positive platform in Malaysia. The conversation today is very timely with a new policy discussion underway. For example, the proposed U16 rules. It's critical for us to sustain that kind of a dialogue with regards to the youth safety and digital well-being. So we're excited to be here to have a robust conversation with the rest of the panel.
Okay, all right. And Fatin, what about you? It's Sufina, sorry. Oh my God.
Okay, my name is Wan Fatin Sufina.
Yeah.
That's a long name, but on TikTok I'm known as Teacher Sufina. Yeah. So today I'm actually in this conversation with 3 hats. I'm a creator, I'm a coach, and I'm also a mother. So from what I understand, yeah, I live in the digital world every day. So I've seen how it impacts lives, the communities, the children, how the platform gives space for the children to be creative, the communities to make a living, and so I understand the worry. You know, as parents, we worry how safe is our children online, and are they being exposed to harmful things? So I think what matters to me is that I want to help parents to understand about the platform. I want to help parents to feel safe that their children is online.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a lot of things to say, but we'll
Okay,
we'll
so let's go to the first question
everything
first.
everything is
Okay. So like we often hear about, we always hear about the risks of online, right? We always hear about the dangers and the fear, but we rarely actually talk about the positive impact that gives online users and people in general, right? Who are online, like it gives them a way to connect or maybe to even create content that relates to everybody else and understand what people are going through and stuff like that. So, billions of netizens are, they are online and they find new meanings towards being alive and being online. So it's actually a real modern community, I would say, because you be able to reach people from across the globe, right? So maybe all of three of you, like each of you could explain or like could share the positive impact you have witnessed in your own personal and professional lives on how these digital spaces truly create these positive connections, especially among the youth.
Okay, I'll go first. I think one of the main things that social media and the internet basically allows is for there to be democracy to the kind of content that is out there. It allows, because of the accessibility, we are now exposed or we are connected with more communities around the world. And for youths as well, you know, you've got different kinds of youth who are a lot more social online because of certain things. Maybe they've been growing up shy or they're introverts. And social media or the internet or the communities online is where they can slowly start to build their confidence. I've seen that as well. And also for persons with disabilities, for communities who don't usually have a voice, these platforms allow them to have that voice. And I think that's really something that we should always keep a focus on as well.
Yeah, because sometimes like online, they're a whole new personality, right?
True. Some of it might not be the best personalities, but what we like to see is also the fact that there are excellent people out there with excellent skills, excellent information that they want to share, or creativity they want to share, and they're able to do this at a much larger scale with social media.
Exactly. And Ms. Firas, what about you?
Well, in the conversation about digital safety, we often focus on the risk, and
Yeah.
rightly so, right? But having said that, it's equally important for us to spotlight some of the transformative power of digital spaces. In my work in TikTok, I've seen firsthand how this platform can actually unlock creativity, connection, opportunity, especially among the youth, right?
Yeah.
So the thing about TikTok is we are basically the destination of the short-form mobile video,
Yes.
and has become a space for free expression,
Yep.
discovery, and learning of over 1 billion people globally, right? And on top of that, 460 million people across Southeast Asia. People came to TikTok for many reasons. And what we have discovered is they like the idea of being able to express themselves authentically, and then on top of that, be entertained. And that's myself as well. I use TikTok for me to be entertained, build a business, and on top of that, discover new skills and hobbies. So the thing about TikTok is there's so many communities inside the TikTok. So if I can share some of the examples, and that includes, for example, firstly, hashtag book talk.
Yeah.
And the hashtag book talk is basically a community that has accumulated over 370 billion views globally as of 2025. We also have a community that has been built upon teachers on TikTok that inspired over 7.7 million posts. And on top of that, learn on TikTok hashtag that has over 48.8 million posts to date, creating a strong sense of community among those learning something new on TikTok every day. We also have a STEM approved videos. When you look into the apps, you have a heading on STEM specifically. And the STEM approved videos has already amassed almost 7.2 billion views globally, right? And this is just in terms of learning. When it comes to a transformative power of digital spaces, a lot of people goes beyond learning as well.
Yeah.
And maybe I just want to take an opportunity to share some of the survey that was conducted in 2022
Okay.
by a Pew Research Center. And this is basically a North America think tank that has run a survey in 2022 across 1,316 teenagers between 13 and 17 years old. And what we have discovered is there are a couple of things here, which is very exciting. Firstly is 67% says social media helped them to feel supported during tough times. 71% of the teenagers feel it gives them a space to express creatively. And thirdly, 80% feel more connected to the friends through social platforms. So what I'm trying to say here is when it comes to us digital spaces, social media, the idea of using social media as a platform for them to discover a new connection is paramount. Thirdly is, of course, unlocking the real economic opportunity. And this is very important, highly relevant for Malaysia. We have seen over 3.8 million content creators and affiliators riding on TikTok Shop to basically harness the benefits of the social media platform, digital spaces, to actually make a living out of it. And they are actually thriving, and they are basically supporting their families as well through TikTok Shop. These stories remind us that digital spaces when guided responsibly, can be more than just a platform. They can be lifeline, they can be a classroom, and they can also be a launch pad for something bigger, right? And this is something that we in TikTok try to protect and harness. And we're going to help the family members and also the parents, the guardians, to basically protect these kind of benefits so that it can be harnessed confidently and creatively.
Okay, that sounds incredible because people always forget the part about like making money and also education on the platform itself,
Yes,
right? Because people always
yes.
think about
Yeah.
the negative impact of things. So, Safina, what about you? You're a content creator yourself, right? Like, what has been the positive impact of the platform?
I think I just want to touch on this thing. We often hear the risks on social media, right? Or
Yes.
the risks on the online platform. You know why? Because to me, I feel the news especially, they tend to highlight on worst case scenario or influencers that misuse the platform. You know, they rarely tell the stories about how the entrepreneurs thriving on TikTok shop, how the youth can actually come up with their own brands. You know, we hardly hear that. So I would say on, how would I say, the impact. Now I've been in this content creator world for a long time because, and to me, I feel being a content creator at this age, I'm in my 50s. So I feel fortunate
You serious?
because I already know how to differentiate the ones that are real, the ones that are not real. And then I would say that my worth is not how many likes I get or how many views I get. But for children, for youth to be on the social media platform, if they are not guided, then whatever that they are supposed to get from the social media, meaning they can be creative, that they can improve their communication skills, or they can be more their digital awareness. But then, if it's not guided, if there's no boundaries, it can turn differently. Then it can create that emotional pressure, the depression, and then comparable. They keep comparing. So these are not healthy things on TikTok, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I myself. The thing is, right now you can see I'm actually looking for my words. I have a lot that I have here. Oh, sorry, I have a lot. But then when we are here, when you talk, especially about children, I'm a mother myself.
Okay.
So I'm a mother. Of course, my children are all grown up, so I don't have problems with that. But I have nieces and nephews.
Yeah,
Yes, I have my nieces and nephews. They keep coming to me and share about this on TikTok, share about that on TikTok. So that it is really important for us to have these conversations.
Yeah.
And to me, I think this is what I feel like with whatever that's happening right now, with whatever that Mr. Firdaus said just now. Control, yeah. If we want to go on strict control without making them understand, will create rebellions. You know,
Yeah.
and if you have a system, for that matter, systems, you know, but if the system is done without them have that emotional guidance, then it will become something else also.
Yeah.
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 Okay. All right. Thank you so much for those refreshing perspectives. It's a variation, but I think we are all on the same page here. However, like going back to Mr. Firdaus, you spoke about opportunities, but with opportunity also comes responsibilities, right? And the internet also, there's no denying, like there's a whole bunch of scams and misinformation and bullying happening online. But how do you, as a platform provider, which is TikTok, responds to these challenges and at the same time still enabling young people to express themselves, create content, and connect online?
I think that's a very good question, Tasnim. And I think the reason why we are here is basically try to strike the balance, to empower the families, to empower the youth, so that they can be a very objective digital native. Coming back to your question just now and commentary just now, most of the challenges that are being faced by youth today are actually not new, right? In fact, issues such as bully, peer pressure, mental health struggle, and harmful habit existed long before the internet. Parents and guardians are the primary source of guidance of the youth, and therefore, because they are the closest to the family members, and they understand the environment of the kids as well, right? And therefore, how we position is to empower the parents by equipping them with the knowledge and tools to raise digital natives responsibly. so that the youth will be better prepared to navigate the online world safely. To translate the vision into the action, in conjunction with World Children's Day last week, we have partnered with Content Forum. We have partnered with MCMC as well to launch a hashtag ThinkTwice parental advisory. Now, we aim to help the parents to play an active role in safeguarding their teens' digital experience by utilizing TikTok's robust safety measures. So this joint advisory call for a community-driven and evidence-based approach to our online safety. So the thing about this is we also emphasize the shared responsibility among the parents, the platforms, and also the policymakers, while upholding the children's rights to the freedom of thoughts, access to information, as well as the self-appropriate expression and privacy. Now, we just don't stop here, right, in terms of just giving the advisory. The second part of this is, of course, the actual investment that we are making across trust and safety domain. Beyond empowering the parents, we are committed to maintain a safe, inclusive, and authentic environment for everyone to connect to each other. Safety is our top priority, and therefore globally we have invested over $2 billion across trust and safety domain, and we are continuing to do so in 2025. We invested into 4 key pillars when it comes to safety. Firstly, it's on the policies, anchored by our robust and comprehensive community guidelines. Secondly, is the investment into the product itself, where we integrated a safety by design and safety features philosophy. Thirdly, is in terms of practices, when it comes to the enforcement as well as the moderation. And behind the community guidelines, we have thousands of safety, trust and safety professionals who are actually working together with advanced automated system to actually moderate the content. And last but not least is, of course, establishing and harnessing the partnership that we already have together with our community partners, as well as executing and amplifying our digital literacy collaborations. The TikTok community guidelines are the backbone of our safety efforts, right? And because of that, with all these 4 safeguards, TikTok has removed more than 3.3 million videos, violative content, in Malaysia alone in Q2 2025.
Okay.
And that shows how we are committed in terms of cleaning up the harmful content from the platforms and how we protect our community, whether they are the parents, whether they are youth, or whether they are the community in general.
Okay, all right. And Pamela, like you were part of the parental advisory group.
Yep.
Advisory.
Yeah, parental advisory group. And one of the major things that was emphasized here is about parents guiding children, right? And also guiding and respecting children's rights to the digital world. So how was it, from your vantage point, right, from your perspective, when creating the advisory and
Right.
also taking into consideration the parents and the children,
Right.
how can parents actually play an active role in self-regulating within the families to create a healthier and safer, more supportive online environment for the teens?
I think parents play the key role actually in this entire issue because of the fact that when we talk about access to TikTok and everything else online, children can't get access to that without their parents.
Exactly.
They don't have any salaries to pay for the device or anything else,
Exactly.
right? So parents, they are the key focal point in the house. And I think for a lot of things that we've done at the Content Forum, my team and I, we've done advocacy work and awareness and speaking to parents. There are many types of parenting styles out there. There are those who just give a device and hope for the best. And there are those who are they are very privy to what the risks are out there, and they take active, proactive steps to do the whole parental lock and screens, etc. And there are also those who want to do it but don't know how.
Yeah.
So those are the people that we are targeting with this. And we want to create more awareness so that the first group of people know that they're supposed to do this as well. And we want to guide other parents to see that there are things that you need to play a role in. You can't expect, platforms have their duties, their roles and responsibilities, and they're doing the best, I assume they can, and they're trying to improve more. The government is doing what they can with regulations and laws, etc. But at the end of the day, we need to rely on parents to take care of their own kids. And it's similar to the fact that, yes, we've got the family family pairing, we have screen time management, we can set what kind of content goes on their FYP, we can set the kind of when you can, I think there's even access to having TikTok be not accessible to them
Yes,
for a while,
time
right?
away,
Yeah,
time
that's
away.
yes, time away from TikTok.
Okay.
I think some of the parents do that too, but that is available for parents too. But at the same time, I think this is not talked about highly enough. Parents also need to have very tough conversations with their kids.
Yeah.
Things like might be taboo in those days, talking about grooming, talking about stranger danger. It's not just strangers anymore. It's people that you are socializing with online. These are conversations that parents need to have with kids, because if they're not having conversations with their kids, people out there are having conversations with their children. So this is
Exactly.
exactly the kind of thing that we want parents to understand. You've got the tools, you know the risk, and you also need to have these conversations.
Yeah, I'm just going off real here. I'm just wondering, because you mentioned just now, like, the most important thing is how the parents manage the children,
Yeah.
right? Because if the children don't have devices, they wouldn't be online, right?
Precisely. But that's the thing. Do we want to go to that extent? Because like it or not, children, teenagers, they are digital natives. They're called
Exactly.
digital natives for a reason. And then let's go back to 20, 30 years before digital natives were even in place. When I had to send my first son off to school, after having him at home and under my care, send him to school. You get to worry about everything. As a mom, I'm sure you can relate. You worry about him having to cross the road. You worry about him being bullied. You worry about him maybe being discriminated against by teachers, etc.
Exactly.
But do you tell him never to go out? No. You let him go out, but you equip him with the knowledge and the tools to be resilient out there. How do you cross the road safely? What do you do if somebody bullies you? Who do you report to? So these are the lessons that should be mirrored in their life online. Parents need to equip their children with the same kind of tools. How do you face this risk? You can't protect them from this risk forever. And you can't ban them and then expect a 16-year-old, you send them out and then they know everything. You need to have that gradual and continuous conversations about these things.
Just to cut it out, because you mentioned just now, like, you cannot just flip a switch and then 16-year-olds are allowed to be online, right? Like, there's a whole different...
There has to be a better implementation to that, which I assume there should be.
Okay. All right. And Safina, going to you, like, based on everything that Puan Maria has mentioned, right? Like, what was your take on the parental advisory, ThinkTwice parental advisory? Like, did it resonate with you? Did it feel like it at least, like, encapsulate what you were feeling and how to manage younger people?
I resonate very well, because if you go through the parental advisory, it focuses more, especially that part where you have to have the open conversations with your children. Because like Puan Madiha mentions, like, we cannot just ban them, we need to educate them. To me, if my child do not want to share anything online with me, I would say that I have lost my position as their safety space, as their safe space. So that is bad, because we have to be the safe space for them. Okay, coming back into the, way back in 2022, I did a video on family pairing. Yes, because family pairing was already there in 2022. And one thing about TikTok platform, why I like it, because to me it's a safe platform, depending on how you use it lah. Because the platform is neutral. It depends on how you teach your children to use the platform, defines the outcome. Okay, coming back to when I first initially started TikTok, when I knew, all I knew about TikTok was just about entertainment, dancing.
Dancing videos,
But then
right?
during PKP, I have 3 children. So 3 of my children have different FYP feed,
Interest.
So during PKP, my daughter actually shared with me a lot of things that she found out on chemistry, on mathematics. Thereafter, I asked her, where did you get this from? TikTok. Where did you get this from? TikTok. So that's when I knew that there's the other side of TikTok. There's actually whatever it fits based on our interest, right? Okay, there's another thing that I want to share with all the panels today, which I shared with some of my students who are parents, because I told them you have to know about this, because TikTok platform actually identifies it, but we as parents, we did not realize it. Why not you open your TikTok now? On your TikTok. I'm going to show you. I'm just going to demonstrate. We do some exercise here, okay?
Oh, okay.
So if Tasnim has a phone, and everyone here, if you have a phone, you just go into TikTok.
Takut lah nak tengok.
Alright?
I see you,
And
FYP.
you just type at the search bar, you
Right.
type barcode. Type
Barcode.
barcode.
Okay.
Okay.
So what does it appear? It
Yeah.
appears like this.
Yeah.
Okay.
View resources. It says that you are not alone.
Yeah.
You know how I found out about this? I was talking to my daughter about what's happening in today's world, children, that have the intentions of, you know, harm
Self-harm.
themselves, you know.
Self-harm.
Then my daughter told me about the barcode thing. I said, what is the barcode thing? I said, oh, that is a trend. There's currently a trend between youngsters when they have depressed, when they are depressed, they carve
Yeah,
themselves.
harm themselves, yeah.
They carve themselves, and sampai it comes to a point, if you are depressed and you tell your friend, I'm depressed, and then the friend said, I don't see any carving on your hand. So it's like a sense of belonging to a group.
Okay.
So that is why when you search barcode on TikTok, it immediately appears like this. You are not alone, and if you view the resources, it says where you can get help and everything. So when I saw this, I find it like the TikTok platform is already monitoring this. But we parents, do we know about this? Do we know about this? So why do we blame the platform? Why do we blame the social media platform? Because there's a lot of goods also. So it's just, so for example, like I said just now, yeah, what about children who actually use the platform for good use? You know, like studying, they find creative stuff, they can learn a lot of stuff. So if we just stop them, I mean, we stop everything. So what about these children yang who are using it for good matters?
Yeah.
So bukan saja yang buruk saja, but there's a lot of good things also in the platform. Okay, back to parenting. Like I agree with Pak Mariha. To me, everything boils down to parenting. Whatever media, whatever digital program, it goes back to our parenting, how we control the children. We cannot just put the whole responsibility to the platform.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because they're humans, right? And they're dealing
Yes.
with you directly, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I just want to add on
Yeah.
from what Teacher Sufina has mentioned just now when it comes to barcode trends, right? So all these trends is basically something that we are working closely with a lot of the community partners at the international level, at the global level, regional as well as local level. So we do have a very vast network of partners that we are working with in terms of identifying all these harmful trends. And based on these trends, we basically try to update ourselves and basically embedded that into the policy. And once it has been embedded into the policy, we can also come up with certain moderation policies and certain campaigns to basically tackle this kind of harm. Which is why, from TikTok perspective, we'll continue to expand our community partner channel, and we're looking forward to expand this vast network of partnership with other NGOs and CSOs.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That sounds really positive. But I'm still not over this discussion on the social media ban for 16-year-olds. So I'm gonna ask Pamadiha first, as a mother, why do you believe guided early exposure for youth is the smarter path towards building discerning, resilient digital natives and talents for tomorrow instead of like totally banning it? I know you were talking about guided step-by-step levels of exposure, but just in general, like, why do people need to understand maybe banning it in total for 16-year-olds and below is not the best solution?
Right. I think the first thing we need to agree with is the fact that digital skills are a life skill, right? And when we talk about guided exposure, we're not just guiding them to exposure about harmful content. We're not saying that we need to guide them to look at pornography, for example. But if you look at social media in a tunnel perspective and you only see the harms, then that might be your perspective. But you also need to look at the fact that children will grow up to become teenagers, to become adults who need to have the resilience over, for example, financial scams. They need to know what are the red flags out there that they should look out for. They need to look out for people who might be bullying them, who might be scamming them, who might be grooming them. These are things that maybe you can have conversations with them. That does work, but it is a lot better if you hold their hand through the entire process. Now, let's not look at it in a way where you say, oh, you just want to expose your kids to risk and then, hope for the best. No, we're talking about parents taking that journey together with the child. I don't know what the actual nitty-gritty details are of this below 60 ban. I don't think we all have the details yet. But I husnuzon lah. I really I hope that it is tailored as well to the household and to the child.
Okay.
Because I mean, teachers, you probably agree with me. Our kids are not the same.
Yeah.
You don't pop out kids who are alike. Some of them are not even like you. There might be those who are a lot mature at the age of 16 when compared to their siblings. hopefully parents know best on what these child should be expected to do or what the expectations are. And I think the responsibility needs to be placed back with the parents as well. And to answer your question, why guided exposure is something that I am advocating for, is exactly because of the fact that you gain life experience from living it,
Yeah.
and you need to gain digital experience from being in the digital space, guided by the safeguards that the platforms have given, and also guided by the parents who are there to supervise it all the way through.
Okay. And Fina, your take on it, like for the guided
My take on
exposure?
it. Okay. When I heard about it, yeah, like Puan Madia said, I mean, kids are users, but they are digital natives. You know, they will work around the system. They will find ways.
Yeah.
They will find ways. Definitely, they will find ways. And when that happens, and when they are online, they are not just online, but they are online unprepared, unguided. That is more dangerous. And to me, it's like, if we block them, we are not removing anything. We are just delaying it. We are just delaying the problems. So, yeah.
Today we focus a lot on TikTok because it's TikTok. But you know, when you ban TikTok or you ban certain platforms or apps, etc., there is a host of other alternative platforms that the kids can go to that are not as regulated, that don't have community guidelines or all these safety features that TikTok has invested in for 2 billion, for example.
Exactly.
So what are we doing with those alternatives? We don't want to chase youths away into the dark corners of the web where no one is watching or no one is supervising as well. So that's a consideration that we need to think about as well.
Exactly. At least this is like being monitored, right?
Yeah.
And there are features on it. So, Mr. Firdaus, I would like to ask you, how are the features on TikTok that you guys have invested in help parents manage their teens' online activities while still supporting them and having a balance? Where does it strike the balance of between protection and empowerment? Because we don't want to make the teens feel like they're being watched, right? They need to have their own freedom and creativity, but what's your take on that? Like, where does it strike the balance of protection and empowerment?
From TikTok perspective, there are a couple of things that we are doing here, right? And mainly by giving the empowerment to the parents and the guardians, so that they can actually curate a more safe experience for their digital natives. I don't know whether you know this Tasnim, but TikTok has over 50 features settings on the teen's TikTok account, which can be highly customized accordingly, right? And this includes the family pairing, as what Madiha has mentioned just now, basically to help the parents to guide teens in a secure and creative space. With the family pairing features, parents can actually link their accounts, their teen's account, for greater visibility, right? So you can actually monitor your kids and children's activity. That's number one. And once the link has been established, you can actually monitor whatever the children's and the teens are uploading into the system, right? And what's more important is there's also an integration into a screen time dashboard. And this is when you can also help together with the children to customize their time away from TikTok, right? For example, during a study period. You can also limit the time frame per day for the kids to be engaging in TikTok. That's number two. And you can even limit or customize the sessions.
Okay.
So what I do personally, right, because this applies to us as an adult as well, or we as an individual as well, right? So what I did personally is I allocated a maximum of 90 minutes on TikTok, number one, right? So 90 minutes per day on TikTok, the maximum of 20 minutes per session, right?
Wow.
And time away from 12 a.m. onwards. That's what I did.
That's for yourself.
That's for myself.
Wow.
Right? But yes,
Wow,
I don't
doom
do
scrolling,
scrolling,
wow,
right? Yes,
okay.
right. So that's what I did. But I would really hope to see that the parents maximize the functions as well, right? And apply that with their kids. And what's more important, right? It's not just about monitoring the children. It's about having an insights on what the behavior of our kids are online in the digital spaces. That's number one. And number two is using those insights to have a more structured conversations on how to customize their digital experience, right? Because the thing about the survey that I mentioned just now, the youth will find a lot of connections and meaningful purposes on digital spaces. And we want to protect that, right? We want them to find a new purposes. We want them to establish a new connection that is fulfilling. And we want them to take advantage of the platform so that they can actually express themselves creatively,
Okay.
right? So we don't want to compromise that. And how do we do this is by enabling a family pairing, let them behave online, and we interfere and we have a structured conversation when it's needed to, without compromising their creativity and expressions.
Yeah.
So I think that's the whole idea of family pairing. I just want to mention another thing. I mentioned just now about safety by design integrations into our products. And we really truly reflected that by enforcing U16. And what I mean by that is we have a customized setting where we can actually reset accounts on private with unlimited features for those who are between U13 from 13 years old until 16 years old.
Okay.
Right? So there's no direct messaging, for example, by any of the strangers. There's no monetization that is allowed
Okay.
for these teenagers, right? Within this age bracket. And on top of that, what's more important is we also don't allow the registration of U13 to be created, under 13 to be created on our platform. So I think the combination of all these settings together with, I think Mediha just now mentioned about a function called manage topics. So the manage topic is also something that is quite useful, not just for the children, but also for us as an individual, right? Because sometimes we are being fed with too many similar content. So what we can do as a parent, as an individual, is basically to customize those manage topics. Very easy, you go to the setting, you go to manage topics, and you just slide more often or less often for diverse sets of topics, which includes entertainment, F&Bs, nature and sports and whatnot. That is highly customized for you feed, right? And that can also be customized for your children as well, right? And that's what we wanted, right? A structured conversation with the children on all these kind of setting, and hopefully it will enhance their understanding of the harm in the digital spaces. And based on that insights, we can also help them to educate them on various aspects of in-reporting features that we have, and blocking, for example, that we have in our platform. Last but not least, I mean, we're talking about setting just now. Last but not least is, of course, when it comes to advocacy with regards to a digital literacy campaign. We also have a ThinkTwice Knowledge Hub that we have launched and we have enhanced further. And this Knowledge Hub provided a lot of information to our community members in terms of resources to strengthen their understanding of digital literacy. And we have also covered areas like scam prevention and mental health awareness inside our Knowledge Hub. So please do visit this resource center.
You know, and Mr. Firdaus, it's so interesting that there's so many features for TikTok, because like when I was growing up, I mean when we were all growing up, we had our social media platforms, right? But it wasn't as is it just me? Like,
I think it's you.
Okay, so like when I
My
was
social
like,
media platform was the playground.
Okay, so like when I was like in high school and stuff, like
Yeah.
we had our social media platforms.
Right.
We don't. Most of them are dead now. But meaning to say that there was no features
Yeah.
at all. Like
Yes,
I was like,
correct.
it was like the jungle.
Free for all, yeah,
yeah,
Yes.
free for
exactly.
all. Like we were in the wild.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
internet was like a totally new arena,
Absolutely,
right? And
yes.
I don't want to compare then and now, but I'm just saying that there's way more protection and
True.
way more features to control. And if my parents knew what I was doing online, but I'm very
I think we're all saying the same thing in our heads, yes.
but I was quite clean compared to
Right.
other people. But I'm just saying that this is way better.
Yeah.
Like I feel
Yeah.
more safer knowing that there are things that we are able to control.
Correct.
I mean, as parents, right? Because
True.
we don't know what children's are. I mean, not children, teenagers are
Yeah.
scrolling in general, right?
Yes.
So it's great that there are features to control and monitor, because
Yeah.
not all platforms are doing it, right?
True.
So like, before we wrap up, like, I'd love to get your take, each of you guys, on how we can guide and empower teens through the digital world and understanding both generations, all generations, because I feel like millennials are still trying to understand Gen Zs and Gen Zs are still trying to understand boomers and things like that, right? Like, but teens, Gen Alpha, are also trying to understand the world that
Yeah.
we have been living in as well, right? So, what's your one key takeaway regarding their teens' digital journey, especially to parents? Like, what's the key takeaway here?
For me, just parents walk that journey with the teens. Just take that journey together. This is not an us versus them thing in any sense of the word. It's not platform versus government, parents versus platform, kids versus parents. No. This is everyone has the same objective. We want the platform, we want the TikTok, everyone else on the internet to be safe for all of us. So we each need to the role to play. And for today, we're focusing on how parents can do that, and that is by walking that journey with the kids, guided by things like the ThinkTwice campaign that we have, and also all the resources that Firdaus has been talking about in TikTok and every other platform. Parents need to know that that's available for them. It's no point in investing in it and having it if parents are not using it. So use that and take that journey with your child.
Okay, I think we'll go with Puan Sufina first before we end it with Mr. Firdaus.
I can take one word from Pamadiha about blaming this out. We cannot be playing blaming game here.
Yeah.
It's a shared responsibility.
Yeah.
I used to think it takes a village to raise a child, but
Yeah.
now it's the whole country to
Yes.
raise a child.
True.
Yes.
True.
And from whatever that we discussed today, it all boils down to the parenting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to me, like what Pamadiha said also, you walk through the journey with
Yeah.
your child. And you have to be involved with them.
Yeah.
With whatever activities that they have online, offline, you have to be
Yes.
involved. Then you know what's going on.
Maybe we can get some advice from you. Like, how can the parents start having the conversation with the kids? Because not everybody is very open,
Yeah.
even guardians, right?
Yeah.
Like, maybe it's not their mom or dad, but maybe their auntie or
A
uncle
trusted
are the
adult, yeah.
ones trying to have the conversation, to have the
Yeah.
care about how to navigate online journeys.
To me, okay, I would say I am thankful that my children until today, right from the eldest being 27 years old and the youngest is 20,
Okay.
they keep coming back to me if they have anything that they want to ask. And I enjoy that. I want them to come to me to ask whether this is right or this is wrong. Even girlfriend matters also. If this girl is right or this boy this girl is not right. That's what we want. I want to be the safe space for them. So I think the most important thing is you need to spend time with the child. You need to spend time, and you have to model the healthy habits as well. You can say about screen time, you can say whatever, but if you yourself are not doing it,
Yeah.
we see a lot nowadays. If you go to restaurants, we see parents with the children on all of them on their tab, on their phone. They hardly speak to each other.
Yeah.
When that is the time that you should spend with your kids, having a
Do you
conversation.
think sometimes parents are the one glued on their phones as
Yes.
well? So it's like
Yes.
set by example.
Yeah. And then another thing is you don't ask, what are you watching on the phone? What are you watching now? What do you watch? You know, instead of you watch it together with them and then you tell them and advise them, how do you feel about this content? What makes you feel? How do you find it? And then you can actually read their minds and how they think. Then from there you guide them. You know, you cannot just dismiss them. If they want to show something, you just tak bagus tu. Tak payah. You need to educate them. Why is it tak bagus? Because they need to know what's wrong and what's right. And the only thing they can know is for us to guide them. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great because sometimes people just assume the very old
Yes.
traditional
Thinking.
mindset kan macam
Yes.
no
Yeah.
tak boleh buat ni,
Yes.
tak boleh buat tu kind of thing.
I
right?
want to share one small this.
Okay.
Sekejap je. I remember I advised my daughter. I see something online, and then I advise her. When she said back to me, Ibu, do you actually think I will do that? It's
Okay.
like I made her feel like, is this how you think of me?
Yeah.
You know. So when she said that, I tukar the way I asked. Instead of I tanya macam I am claiming that you can actually do this. So it's more on like, what do you think of this?
Yeah.
You rather than you jangan buat benda-benda macam ni. Because
Yeah.
we make them feel that we kita
Underestimate
Yes,
them, right?
Underestimate
Yeah.
them, yeah.
Okay, that's great. Like they never underestimate or accuse them
Accuse
of
them,
potentially
right.
doing it, right?
Yes.
Potentially
And
doing
some
it.
children, they don't like that. They don't like to
Yeah.
be seen like they are there, you
Yeah.
know.
Betul?
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I
That's
completely get what you're saying.
I
yes.
totally
Yeah.
understand
Totally
that. Like, I
understand.
totally.
Got it.
Okay.
We were kids too.
Yes, yes, we were kids too. Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Firdaus, closing.
Yeah, I think coming back from probably not a closing as yet, but coming
Okay.
back from the us being a kids, right? We used to be
Yeah.
young before, and obviously,
Yeah.
Long time ago.
yeah, yeah. And the fact that when we were younger, I think one character that was obvious was the fact that we don't like to be controlled.
Nope.
Yeah,
Right, we don't like to
definitely.
be controlled.
Yes, exactly.
And therefore, I think that's aligned with the international recognition of the children's rights as well.
Yes.
Right? We are talking about the rights for them to be
Empowered,
freedom
yeah.
empowered, freedom of thoughts,
Yeah.
freedom to towards access of information,
Yep.
and on top of that, the freedom of self-express themselves, as well as privacy. Right.
Yes.
So it comes to a combination of all these four components. I think it's very important for the parents to be much more intentional
Yeah.
when it comes to engaging with their
Yes.
children. And that's exactly what TikTok wants to enable. Empower the parents with all the tools and resource hub that we have, leverage on all the features of family pairings and whatnot, and use that to have a structured conversation with their children to basically customize and curate their digital experience moving forward on TikTok's platform. I think that's the whole idea, right? And to us in TikTok, raising a responsible digital native start with informed, intentional parenting. So my call for the audience today is to basically to go to ThinkTwice, to go to TikTok obviously,
Yep.
and go to the search bar, enter hashtag ThinkTwice on TikTok, and because guidance begins with understanding, not control.
Download TikTok.
No, no.
Download TikTok and like understand it. So,
Understand it.
macam, as a summary, right? Like just to make sure everybody understands out there, right? Like the importance is actually guiding and educating and sharing the journey, the digital journey with the
Yeah.
teens, right? The teens
Right.
especially. I mean, you can do everything you want, but like if you don't, they don't know the difference between yes or no or right or wrong. It will
Yes.
never reach to a point where they understand fully, right?
Yeah. Completely agree.
Yep.
And like when we talk about physical, okay, there's a whole issue of like, you know, online is online, digital is a digital world, and physical is the physical reality. There's no such thing in
No.
today's world,
No.
right? Like, what do you have to say about what do you
No,
think
no
about
such thing. I think that's we already digital life and online life, offline. It's the same thing, and it's the same with laws as
Yes.
well. Whatever is illegal on offline is illegal online. So whatever we do, online and offline is the same. Same repercussions, same responsibilities. There is no such thing as your online persona.
Okay, Puan Sufina, I think you have something to say.
I don't know. Back to you were saying. Again, what you were saying?
I was saying that, like, you know, some people say online is online, physical reality is physical reality, is not together. But people always forget that right now, it's a totally different world.
Yeah.
Dulu maybe
Yeah,
macam tu,
yeah.
but in the
Different.
90s or...
In the 90s, your internet was a corner in the family room with a PC that everybody can see what you're looking at.
Yes.
It's completely different to how
Yes.
children and teenagers consume content on the internet now. It's not a PC in the room, it's in their devices.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think it's
Completely
important we
different.
realize that as well, and that's
Yeah.
why we
Yep.
have all these
Yep.
features to
Yes.
monitor
Yes.
and to make sure everybody is not controlled.
It's not controlled.
It's not controlled.
To me, the parents got to be educated also
Yeah.
about the social media platform.
Yeah.
There are parents who do not want at all to have anything to do with that social media platform.
Yeah,
oh,
that's
no,
true.
No TikTok. No, no TikTok. But if they are not involved, then how do they know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So those are great takeaways. Thank you so much for
Thank
being
you.
here with us today on the Think Twice podcast with
Thank you.
Sinar Daily and TikTok. So before we end, I just want to say that I hope you guys listen to everything that was discussed and understand, comprehend, because it's a whole journey. It doesn't end here. I mean, just because it's been proposed to be banned next year doesn't mean it's gonna end, right? The world's not gonna end anytime soon. So parents, it's important to remember it's not about restricting access, but actually about guiding your teens on how to use digital platforms and how to survive online, right? So I hope you found this discussion helpful today, and we will be having 2 more episodes in the coming future. And we hope for you to follow all the experts' tips and yeah, I hope you guys check out TikTok's parental features, advisory features.
Yeah.
So I am Tassim Lokman, and thank you so much for joining us. Make sure to follow Sinar Daily on all social media platforms and download our app. Okay, thank you so much, guys. See you.
Thank you.
Thank you.